Should your teen son have a job in high school? It's a question so many moms wrestle with. A first job isn't just about earning money. It's about responsibility, confidence, time management, and learning how the real world works. In this episode of Raising Boys with Purpose, we walk through 5 ways work helps prepare teen boys for adulthood, and how God can use even those early jobs to shape their character and purpose. If you're a mom raising a teen son and wondering when the right time is, this conversation is for you. Welcome to Raising Boys with Purpose, a Christian parenting podcast for moms raising teens and young adult sons. I'm Brooke, a boy mom and parenting coach, and here we talk about raising sons, building character, and preparing our boys for adulthood with confidence and faith. You know, I still remember when my oldest started talking about getting his first job. Part of me was proud, and part of me panicked a little. Was he ready for that responsibility? Would it be too much with school and sports? And honestly, I wondered if it would take away from those precious high school years that just seemed to be going by so fast. But watching him step into that job taught me something important. He was learning lessons I couldn't teach him at home. He learned to show up on time, take direction from a boss, and push through when things got hard. There were moments of frustration, exhaustion, and pride, and through it all, I saw his confidence grow. That experience reminded me that work, when balanced wisely, isn't just about earning money. It's about building maturity, discipline, and humility. It gives our sons a glimpse of real life and helps them understand the value of effort, time, and perseverance. There were many discussions when our oldest son got his first job. We waited until the summer he turned 16 so he could learn the ropes before school started again in the fall. We weren't sure what kind of job he'd get. He'd filled out some applications, he walked into places on his own, and eventually he landed a job at a pizza shop. And funny enough, our younger son later got his first job at a rival pizza shop. So that made for some very interesting dinner conversations. Well, when he got that job, we took him shopping for work clothes and talked through how to make a strong first impression with his boss. We even helped him plan his conversation with his boss so he could have time off to go on our family vacation that summer. Because we wanted him to have fun, but we also knew this step into responsibility mattered for his growth. And our younger son watched the whole thing and couldn't wait until it was his turn to earn his own money and feel a little more grown up. But here's the part that no one prepares you for. When your son gets a job, the whole family has to adjust. Suddenly, there are new schedules to juggle, rides to arrange, and family time to protect. And as moms, we have to let go of a little more control and trust our boys to make decisions on their own. It's not always easy, but it's important. That first job becomes a meaningful step toward independence. We offer guidance, we encourage them, but we also let them take ownership. And that's where the growth happens. So today we're going to talk about 5 ways a job can build character in your teen son, and how work can help him grow into the strong, capable young man God has called him to be. Now, step 1 is stepping out of the comfort zone. It's uncomfortable, it's stretching, and sometimes it is downright scary. But stepping outside the comfort zone is where real growth begins. A first job does exactly that. It pushes our boys into new environments, teaches courage, and builds adaptability, skills they'll need long after high school. What surprised me most was that both of my boys had the exact same fear when they started working. It wasn't the schedule or the responsibility. It was talking to strangers. Neither of them is particularly shy, and I'd watch them carry on conversations with friends and adults just fine. But that was the key. They were comfortable with people they knew. Customer service was different. Working in a pizza shop meant answering phones, greeting customers, and taking orders face-to-face. That felt intimidating at first. So before our oldest first shift, my husband and I talked with him. We explained that nearly every job includes interacting with new people, and that his manager would guide him and give him the right wording to use. Just follow the script and take it one step at a time. And you know what? Those first few days stretched him, but he grew. Soon he was coming home with stories about customers and how he handled tricky situations. And with every story, the nervousness faded and confidence grew. He stepped out of his comfort zone and discovered he could do more than he thought. That's the beauty of new experiences. They teach skills that can't be learned any other way. And I believe God uses those moments too. Sometimes he places new experiences in front of our sons not to overwhelm them, but to expand them, teaching them courage in small things so they're ready for bigger things ahead. And as our boys learn to stretch in their personal lives, they become more prepared to stretch in their spiritual lives too. God has great plans for them, and stepping into new experiences helps prepare them for the future he's calling them to. Now, step 2 is all about discipline and responsibility. And there is nothing like a first job to teach both. When our boys started working, they quickly realized something big. People outside their family are counting on them. Their boss expects them to show up on time, work hard, stay focused, and follow instructions. And that level of accountability builds maturity in a way we simply can't replicate at home. 1 Timothy 4:7 encourages us to discipline yourself for the purpose of godliness. Discipline shows up in everyday moments, setting an alarm, actually getting out of bed when the alarm goes off, doing the tasks you don't enjoy, listening to authority, and showing respect even when you might not feel like it. A job gives our boys the opportunity to practice all of that in real time. Galatians 6:5 says, "For each will have to carry his own load." That's part of growing into manhood. When our sons start earning money, even if it's just a small paycheck, they begin paying for some of their own expenses. And that responsibility reinforces their move toward independence. Both of our boys grew so much in their first jobs. And as they proved themselves trustworthy, they were given more responsibility. By the time they left for college, each one had become a leader at work. They were even asked to return during school breaks because their bosses knew they were dependable and hardworking. And the growth didn't stop at the job. We saw it at home too. More ownership in chores, taking care of their things, managing their own schedule, and thinking ahead about the future. That newfound maturity started to show up in every part of their lives. A first job doesn't just teach discipline and responsibility. It shapes the kind of young men our sons are becoming. Now, step 3 is learning the value of money. And let's be honest, most teens love spending money long before they understand what it takes to earn it. Money is a tool. We use it to buy what we need, enjoy what we want, and give generously, save wisely, and invest in the future. But until our sons experience earning it, those ideas are often feeling abstract. Before our sons had jobs, we talked with them about saving, budgeting, and tithing. But once they started working, everything changed. Suddenly, they understood the connection between time and money. They learned that every dollar represented effort. One of my favorite examples is when our oldest son, who loves sneakers, and still does, went to buy a new pair. Normally, he didn't hesitate. He'd use money he got, Christmas, birthdays, things like that. But this time, he stopped himself. He came home and he said, "Mom, I realized those shoes cost 5 hours of work. They're not worth 5 hours." That was a turning point. He didn't just learn how money works. He learned perspective. He started prioritizing purchases. He started budgeting a little. He even began to see how much time we had to work to pay for groceries, the house, and everything else. It opened his eyes. That's the beauty of a paycheck. It teaches responsibility in a way conversations alone never could. When our sons started earning money, they also started learning wisdom, how to make decisions, how to delay gratification, and how to respect the effort that goes into providing for a family. That first job isn't just about buying things. It's about understanding value. Now, in step 4, we're going to explore how having a job can teach our sons one of life's most valuable lessons: time management. Many parents hesitate to let their teens work during the school year, fearing it will interfere with academics, sports, or other commitments. And I understand that concern. I felt the same way. But what I discovered is that work doesn't necessarily take away from those priorities. It often enhances them. When teens have limited time, they're forced to think ahead, make decisions about how they're going to spend it. A job naturally creates structure. Instead of endless hours that can easily slip away to procrastination, they begin to plan their days, budget their time, and make smarter choices. In other words, having more to do actually helps them get more done. When our oldest son first started working, I was nervous. He was already juggling school and sports, and I didn't want him to be overwhelmed. We agreed that summer he would work freely. He just had to plan around church and our family vacation. Once school started, though, we asked him to limit his hours to weekends only. His employer respected that. And over time, as he proved he could handle both school and work, we allowed him to pick up an occasional weeknight shift. It was a gradual process, but it taught all of us something. He learned to balance responsibilities, and we learned to be intentional about protecting family time. We found ourselves reevaluating our own schedules to make sure we still had moments together. Supporting him in this season took commitment and flexibility, but it was worth it. He was growing, not just as an employee, but as a young man learning to manage his time, his priorities, and his responsibilities. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, "For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven." Helping our sons learn to use their time wisely prepares them for the seasons ahead, balancing work, relationships, and family with purpose. When they begin practicing these skills now, they build habits that will serve them for life, and we have the privilege of guiding them through it. In step 5, we look at how having a job gives our teens a front row seat to real life. Through work, they begin to experience what it's like to be part of a team, communicate with different kinds of people, and show respect and perseverance even when things get tough. These are lessons that can't be fully taught in a classroom. They're lived, learned, and absorbed through experience. Colossians 3:23 reminds us, "Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men." Work in one form or another will always be a part of our lives. When our sons begin to see work through this lens, that they're ultimately working for the Lord, it helps shape their character, attitude, and integrity. Their work becomes not just about earning a paycheck, but about representing God through how they show up each day. When our oldest son started his first job, he really admired his boss. He learned a lot from him: how to handle customers, how to manage people, and what it meant to take responsibility. But he also noticed how hard his boss worked. Being the manager of a pizza restaurant meant long hours and very few breaks. If someone called in sick, he had to fill the gap or, find a replacement. My son also began to see that not everyone shared the same work ethic. Some coworkers didn't pull their weight, and that was frustrating for him. One evening, after a particularly tough shift, he came home ready to talk. We had a real conversation about what kind of job and life he wanted in the future. He didn't know yet what career path he'd take, but watching his boss helped him define what he didn't want. That was valuable insight. It gave him perspective, motivation, and criteria for the kind of work environment he'd look for later. The truth is, jobs can be challenging, especially for teens who are still figuring things out. Working with and for different kinds of people really stretches them. It teaches patience, humility, and discernment. For many of our boys, this is the first time they're truly outside their comfort zone, interacting with people who think, act, and lead differently than what they've seen at home or school. And that's a good thing. These early work experiences help shape their values and worldview. They might make mistakes or face frustration, but Those lessons come with lifelong benefits. It's better to stumble and learn while they're young and while we're still close by to guide and support them. Because each job, good or bad, becomes part of the foundation that prepares them for adulthood and helps them discover who they're becoming. So, Mama, if you've ever wondered whether your son should have a job in high school, I hope these 5 steps have given you a new perspective on just how powerful that experience can be. Each shift, each challenge, each conversation, these are all building blocks shaping your son into the man he's becoming. He won't master it all at once, but little by little, day by day, he's growing in wisdom, confidence, and maturity. His first job isn't just about earning a paycheck. It's about learning who he is, what he's capable of, and how God is preparing him for his future. So here's your challenge. Start a conversation. Ask your son what kind of work interests him, where he might want to start, or what skills he hopes to build. Encourage him to take that next step when the time is right. And remind him that you're cheering him on every step of the way. Because this isn't just about work, it's about purpose. And you, Mama, you get to be a part of helping him discover it. If this episode of Raising Boys with Purpose encouraged you, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of this podcast. And if you're raising a teen or young adult son and want encouragement and practical guidance, come join us in the Raising Boys with Purpose Facebook community. The link is below. Thanks for being here today. Now grab your iced coffee, hug your son, and remember, you're raising him with purpose.